hip hop's always been in there. I mean, my dad, I have a platinum record on my wall in my office from my dad of the Rapper's Delight, Sugar Hill Gang, which is the first platinum rap record ever. I think it came out in 1977. So my dad played that on the radio when it was new. So I've been listening to rap music since I heard that song. So it's always been in my ears, in my head, since I was a little kid. And you know, when I hear electronic sounds, like the way rap music is produced after they went from the turntable to like a sequencer and sampler, to me there's still electronic music in rap from day one. Like when I was 16 years old and I had my car, the subwoofers in it, when you listen to rap, it like makes your windows rattle and the mirrors like rattle in the car. It's the same thing like electronic music. It's the same technology, it's just different tempo and then different flavors, but to me they're kind of one and the same. I just like good music, you know. I think people always like to classify genres, or you know, this goes here, this goes in this box, this goes, and for me it's just music. So like if it's good, you know, you can have it all together. I think it makes it more interesting. Yeah, I don't know, for me I feel different about the up and coming state of hip hop. I mean, I'm just really excited on it right now. I think there's so many good rappers coming up, there's so much cool stuff. I mean, there's things I don't even know about that's really big, and then I find things that no one's ever heard about. Like do I like it or not? And I can't give away all the secrets. I'm trying to think what is like soup. I don't know. Like I said, I'm kind of rolling on hip hop right now. Like I'm feeling like I'm down with Belly. Like Belly's the man. Like he's in the zone because I feel like his records are hip hop, but they fit into like what I do. But he's definitely not house at all. But the beats are more like trippy, vibey, like late night. They're not so like in your face, like hitting, you know. Like I don't even know where he keeps coming with these new albums, but like I was hanging out with like Snoop Dogg and these guys, they never heard of him either, and like he's like amazing. So I just keep finding good stuff, and I feel like I'm kind of inspired right now from that world more than like in the electronic world. Like in the electronic world, like I'm kind of waiting for something new to come through. I mean, there's a lot of cool stuff, you know. I just go where I'm like inspired.
To the bring more liquor. The only black person in here bring more niggas. Jay made niggas, Yeezy made millions.
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, there's a lot of great artists right now, you know, and it's like it's hard to pick out the gems, you know, or how do people stand out today, because there's so many there's so much music out there, and a lot of it's good, some of it's not so good. But where are those like gems, like the best ones? You know, you got to really like dig through the weeds to find it. I did a blog podcast with Too Short, and the interview before me was Snoop, and the interview after me was G-Eazy. And Too Short just kind of has this like room where you can hang out and shoot pool, and I have a new record coming out with Snoop, and so I was like, hey man, like, do you want to hear the record that we did? And you know, because he only did his verse, he hadn't heard the whole thing. And so I played it for him, and then they were like, hey, do you want to DJ? Keep DJing, because people were like feeling it. So like I played like all these records, and then he came over and he was like, I saw him like groove into what I was playing, and then like he came over to me and he's like, is this your stuff? And like he's like, send me some more beats. And like they were all vibing it, because I think in their world they're looking for some new production, you know, like what's the new thing. And I think what I'm doing sounds new to them, because they don't really feel like Too Short said, like it's not really like EDM. He's like, your music's more like it just sounds like funk, you know, because mine's like, it's not like banging, like ripping mental, like the craziest production. It's more just like a groove, you know, and then like put their voice over top. It kind of works. You have this like just trying to make a song that's gonna last. Like I'm not trying to make like what kind of production technique can I use to like I'm not gonna make better. I'm not gonna be able to produce better than guys like Hero Bus and Keizo and Skrilly, and like those guys are like, they're like mental like computer wizards, you know. I'm just trying to get a song that people will sing along to like 5 years from now. I don't know anymore, you know. I used to know exactly what to do when you release music. Now today, like I have no idea, so I'm looking towards the experts to tell me, but I don't think anybody really knows the formula. So for me personally, it's just they fit together. So you know, I feel like at a party you could put it on and like have a party and let's let it roll, and it would feel like someone was DJing something cohesive the whole time, and it takes you on like a little ride. took a chance. I mean, my partners were like, "Are you sure people are going to come to this?" And I was like, "Yeah." I had no idea, you know. And it's like millions of dollars in investment, and I was just like, "Yeah, they're going to come." And I had been on a boat with electronic music in the past, and I just knew how great it was. Like, I always feel like it's cool to hear electronic music in the daytime, on the beach, at a pool in LA, people are in bikinis or bathing suits. Like, it doesn't always have to be at like 3 in the morning, you know. In the daytime, the music sounds just as good. So it was the right combination of people most importantly, but the location on a beach. And then they had the privilege to kind of come back the next year. And I think pretty much everyone that went the first year, they all came back. So there wasn't really much room for new people. And then they kind of like kept coming back and coming back. So we added a second boat. But it's kind of like one of those things where they're like a really tight-knit family. And so like if you go to, you know, if you're in Tokyo and you need a place to stay, I'm sure there's Ship Fam somewhere that would let you crash at their pad. You can go like to, you know, go get a pina colada and like there's Skrillex just having a drink, you know, and you can hang out and like everybody's one, because I think that's part of it too. Like when you go to a festival, most of the time you go and then you leave, you know, especially if you're an artist. Most festivals, they get in and they get out, but this one, like, you're there for 3-4 days. There's nowhere to go. A couple artists want to hide out and not be a part of that, but or like some want to get off. Like a few artists have said, "Hey, how do we get off this?" Like before they came, Armand Van Helden, he just wanted to play and then leave. And I remember when I was taking him to the helicopter and Pharrell was landing and he was leaving, and he just looked at me and, "Why am I leaving?" I don't know, you're the one that said you wanted to go. He goes, "If you have me back, I promise I'll stay the whole time." Even this next one coming up, I have like 2 or 3 people that like, they're going to get on, they're going to leave. And I know like when they leave, they're going to be pissed. And I'm trying to tell them, just stay the whole time. Trust me, we're toying with the idea of maybe going to 3 days and like just, you know, adding more to the camping and just to different elements of the festival. You know, this year was our first year at the racetrack. And I think we learned a lot of things of how to set things up better, ingress and egress, and just, you know, hard summer has been, in the last 9 years, it's 6 different locations. And so every time you switch locations, you know, you have to revise the entire game plan. And the track's such a massive place, so I think this year we're really looking forward to just dialing it in.
She like, "What kind of drugs you on?" "None. I'm just a guy who likes to have fun. And you seem like you wanna have none. So I'm done. Whoop, talking to your ass, let me call another bitch up. Damn, about to crash, almost ran into a pickup. Yeah, high, raise your hands, just a motherfucking stick up. I dare you to move."
Well, I always wanted to get Pusha T on a record. You know, he played hard, and I reached out and he said he was down, and then I don't know. I don't really know what the inspiration. It's just, you know, sometimes it starts with the beat, sometimes it starts with the vocals, but both of those songs, it's funny, were completely different songs, and they've changed like 900 times to get to where they're at. I mean, working with Problem, you know, he's so good in the studio, because, you know, we did Dare You to Move, and then he was always like, "What else do you got?" And I sent him this like beat, and he came up with that hook. He's like, "Oh, I got you a big hook, you know," and like I've just been sitting on that one for a while, and then changed all the music around, and you know, just working everything with Wax. It's just been I don't know, it's just like a labor of love. You just keep working on the songs and working on the songs, and then finally it's like, put them out. Hopefully people dig them. Well, 9 times out of 10, I usually need one that's like more banging, because like I usually just make the song for people to listen to. I mean, I still think, okay, I want to play this in my set, but like my personal taste of what I like isn't really banging enough for what like the kids like. But I think the songs are good to remix because they're songs. You know, like sometimes people ask me to remix a song and there's like one like, "Hey," and like a bass line that's like 2 notes, you know, and you're like, then you have to make a whole new song. But all my songs have like full melodic melodies and chords, and like there's a lot for people to work with, so you could remix it trap, dubstep, like disco, any style you want to remix it, the hook's still there, so it just works. So I just look for people. It's funny, like in the beginning, the remixers were all remixers that made stuff that sounds just like what I sound like, and I was like, okay, that's not a good idea. I think Party Up had like 6 different underground house versions of it, and then GTA did like the banging version. So I just look for remixes so that it can get played in other clubs or like other styles, but just people that I like their music, and if they sometimes people reach out and they want to remix it. That's usually what happens. I don't know. I'm never really thinking about the remix because I want people to like my version.
Yeah.
But the remixes do sound good because the melodies, like, you know, the melody from Ty Dolla, like any producer could take Ty Dolla $ign's melodies and make it sound pretty good, I think. I'm Destructo, and this is Noiseporn Unzipped.